Hi everybody, welcome to a quick film on creating your own superhero figure or toy figure, whichever you want to do. And we're going to be using ChatGPT to get results. The reason being, I think it's throwing up the best result of what I'm looking for. Plus, I don't really want to pay for a third party. Obviously, everything is kind of pay for this and pay for that and so on with it. But ChatGPT, we're using the free option here to kind of create it. So the first things to first is what are we looking to actually paste into ChatGPT? Now, remember that ChatGPT is a learning computer. It's AI. It needs you to tell it exactly what to do. So all I did was create enough text to give it what I'm looking for. The more you give it, the better it's going to create for you. Okay, guaranteed. But you might need a few effects. Now, if you run out of your free allowance, then basically you might have to wait for 24 hours and so on with it. But of course, you can always cheat that a little bit. And if you've got a second email address, you could create another ChatGPT account and just do it from there. So the secret is in the text, and this text is below. So you'll be able to copy it, put it into your likes of your Word document, edit it, and then it's basically ready for you to kind of change. So create an image of an action figure in packaging labeled. That's key, that first part there, yeah? Then adjust the label to the photographer's series or whatever you want it to be. I'd love to see what you're creating, okay? So that's why I said if you want to do this, it'd be good. With a tagline of then put your name in there and then put your three kind of words that you use within your business or your photography or whatever it is, you know, fun, fashion and frolics or whatever you do and things really. Then upload or attach a photograph with it so it can use a reference for the face. That's really what we're going to do. Quick tip then is he is 6 foot tall. Well, I am 6 foot tall, but even if you're 5'2", I would put 6 foot tall in there. And the reason being, it will kind of stumpy you just a little bit more. So it will kind of squash the figure because it's a bit of fun at the end of the day. Then kind of what do you want it to look like? So in other words, dressed wise. I want taller legs. That's the key thing I was saying to you, so you're not so stumpy. Short light brown hair, blue eyes, wearing black glasses and dressed in khaki trousers and a black t-shirt. Well, that's technically me, yeah. Odd socks. I always wear odd socks. And I've got black sneakers on with white laces. I have tried putting in their Converses and Vans, but it just gets itself confused. I even ended up with a shoe on my foot. But that's a whole different thing. A Van on my foot. Holding a camera. So if you want an accessory in your hand, I did one for my wife where it's super nanny and I kind of put a rolling pin in her hand and things really and so on with it. The figure is slightly overweight. Now, can I just say to you, if you put that in, all right, you will look fatter than basically it. Now, I'm a big guy, but I didn't recognize myself in any of the images that it created originally. So I kind of would say, if you don't want that, take that little bit of figure out. Just don't have any reference to your figure. I also did put in my true age, which is well into my 60s, but I didn't recognize myself again. It made me look like a very old man instead of an older man. So I basically changed this down to the 50s. So I would say just tone it down by about 5 to 10 years to kind of give you the result. Then the packaging, the cardboard selection should be black. So if you want that in a different color, so let's just say gray, yeah, with a camera as a logo, or change what you want the logo to be. So it could be a lens, it could be a bunny rabbit, it could be a dog, whatever it would be, yeah. Include an accessory section, that's the part on the side. And obviously from there, you're basically going to put in the things that you want. So a camera, a lens, a flash, a tripod, a laptop, and a light meter. Could have put a camera bag in there, couldn't we? Yeah. But make the design visually appealing and reflective of a photographer. Do not include the character image on the packaging because I don't want me again mimicked on that. And then add basically as seen on the Photographer Academy. I would love to see basically all of you guys and yours. So if you really want me to feature it in future, put it up onto the Facebook page anyway. Make sure it's the photographer series on there. If you're going to create one for yourself and do your own thing, but then basically go back and change it to photographer series as such. A key thing that I should say though, remember when I said I was 6 foot tall, I also said he. So make sure you put in what you want, yes? You will pretty much have to say either he or she to kind of allow ChatGPT to give you the result. You could try some other pronouns with it, but you'll probably get frustrated. So you copy all this once it's done, and then you basically paste it in to the ChatGPT itself. You upload your image, and basically you've gone from there. If you've run out, so let me just copy this again for a minute. And if I just paste that in, and then if I add the plus key at the bottom, and I upload from the computer a photograph of me, and then wait for the up button to go black, and then it's going to kind of do its stuff. Now, if you've run out, it will tell you pretty much immediately. If you haven't run out of your free kind of level, it will go ahead and start to create. The first things you're going to see is a bit of a weird box, but then this weird box will extend to a rectangle in shape, and it will actually start to have like a ghost, fuzzy, out of focus window, and that means the AI is creating wherever it's doing. And after probably 3 to 4 minutes, you should get a result. Whilst that's doing it, let's go across to, that's that window I was on about, yeah? Let's go across into Photoshop. And obviously this is the kind of thing that I want. But if I took that same text and I added it into Photoshop, you're not going to get the results. Let me just copy this text over on the side again. And I would have thought that Firefly, which is the kind of the AI within Adobe, would have done the job. Let's go File, New, and we're going to keep it to a letter size at 300 dots per inch. I'm going to now click on the Generate Image. I'm going to paste in my text. If it's too much text, then you'll have to kind of get rid of it to begin with, yeah? So in other words, you might have to lose the last part, because really what we need to have, no matter what, is this create an action figure toy. Let me just do that. Paste that in. And then I'm going to go into, it doesn't matter if it's art or photo with it, but I do want a reference image for the style. So if I kind of click on to choose an image, unlike when I did the photograph, if I just choose my face, if I go into pictures, go into Mark Leghorn, choose a cropped image of my face, press open, that's my reference image. Now all I need to do is click generate. Now, Firefly within Photoshop and Firefly itself will create an image much quicker than ChatGPT does, but pretty much I've had no success with Photoshop or Firefly at all to actually do with what I'm trying to do. And you can see here, it basically is, I would say, churned out rubbish as such. And even if you did it into photo, that's the only thing that you would end up with it and things really. So it's just a bit of a shame that it didn't really do its job at all. And you could kind of redo it and do it. And even if I kind of choose a replacement image, so if I go into the action figures, and I haven't got one there, let me go in the downloads. And I use that one, and I close that down, and I hit the generate. ChatGPT is still working away in the background, okay? But basically, even here within Photoshop, it's just not going to spew out exactly what I want it to be. It's having a go, but look at all the text. It's gobbledygook and so on with it. I've never been called FHUN before, so that's a new one for me. I've been called some things in my time. But if you were to kind of play around with the likes of Firefly directly, if I paste in the same stuff again, it's going to kind of churn out the rubbish. But feel free, you know, there are some really good AI programs out there if you're willing to kind of spend the money as such. I'm just really not willing to spend the money to do a bit of fun thing like this. I mentioned to you, if you've run out of the free, you've hit your free plan limit for an image. This is in ChatGPT, of course, for generation requests. You can create more images when the limit resets in 4 hours time, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so again, if we just kind of quickly go back to our image, that's the one it's just created. So it's pretty good. And it's done pretty much what we asked it to do. It's showing that the photographer series spelt right. I did it right for a change. It's given my name, Faces, Fashion and Food. It's got an accessories area as well. It looks like it's behind plastic, at least my figure is concerned. I do wish I hadn't put the overweight part in there now. And it's put the as seen on the Photographer Academy. So if you're interested in creating that bit of a fun figure for yourself, then have a little go in ChatGPT, create that free account, copy the text I've got below, change the text to what you need it to be, and you'll be able to kind of create some great images. A bit of fun. If you don't change it, you're going to end up with me, and you don't want another me in the world. I think there's enough Mark Tag1 photographers. I think there's 3 or 4 of us still in the world. Anyway, good luck, have fun. Cheers, bye bye.